In this course, we will be creating a small shopping cart. So we need actions and reducers for adding, removing, or editing products in the basket. So far, we wrote everything in one file, and I think it was the best way for you to understand Redux by visualizing the entire Redux process and parts in one site. But now, as you can see, even with few actions and reducers, our code is becoming quite verbose, and if we add other actions and reducers for the cart, it will be hard to maintain the code. A good approach is to separate all your reducers and actions in different files and use a Redux method called combine reducers to get all of them inside a single state object. I warn you that we will now go through the tedious and boring process of splitting our code in multiple files, and therefore it's easy to make mistakes during the process. So try to be very careful when writing your code and linking all your modules. Fortunately, if you ever get lost, you not only have this video, but also the script and attachment to help you following all necessary steps correctly. At the end of this lesson, we will create two new folders inside src folder. One folder called reducers for all our reducers, and a folder for actions for all our actions. In the reducers folder, we will also write a file index.js, and this file is where we write the code for combining the reducers. We will then have a books reducers for all books related reducers, and a cart reducers for all cart related reducers. And the same thing for actions. We will have books actions and carts actions. So we can start now creating the two folders, reducers and actions. Inside reducers, we write a new file, books reducers.js, and index.js for the combined reducers. We copy all our books reducers from app.js and we paste inside books reducers. Just remember that we need to make this function available to outside. So we export function, and we call this function books reducers. We save, and then we start creating our combine reducers by importing combine reducers method from Redux. And here we need to import books reducers file. So we import books reducers from books reducers. We then export default combine reducers, and here there is not much to say. Basically, what combine reducers does, it takes an object as an argument. This object represents the state object. Indeed, in here we can import all our reducers which are stored in separate files, and we get to have them under one single state object. Then in app.js we import the combined reducers. Notice the S at the end of reducers. Now in our create store functions we need to import reducers, not reducer. And finally we can save and refresh, and everything works fine. You might have noticed a small difference on how our state looks in the console after we combine the reducers. Before, inside our state object, we could clearly see that books was an array. Instead now, books looks to be an object. And this is correct. Indeed, what we see now is the object we just created inside combined reducers.